What's going on, everybody? We're back at it today. So, me and Nick met up again. Before you start bashing me in the comments, what happened to my hair? Bad experiment. Try to blow dry my hair. But the goddamn thing didn't want to finish. It died on me. So, this is the end result. But anyway, back to the original topic. So, we met up. We made a lot of adjustments. This week has been a great week. This show's having, I don't get sore easily. We both came to determine, and you're going to see in the video, because I've been training all my life, martial arts, lifting, whatever. It takes a lot more volume. My body is so immune to it. And we found the key. We finally broke the code. That's what I'm excited about. Nick listened, and he came what I wanted. And that's what a benefit about a good coach or a good trainer. He needs to listen to you, because I know my body better than he does. I hope I do. So it worked. So before I get blabber on, let's get into the video. Yo, what's up, man?
How's it going, man?
Good.
How's everything going?
Actually, this workout, I'm feeling it. I'm liking it.
Yeah, you were saying, I know we changed some things up this week, and so you were saying you're a little more sore. You're feeling the workouts a little better.
Yeah. So Monday I did back. I crushed it. I crushed it. The only thing I keep forgetting to bring my goddamn camera. I gotta put it in my bag because I like using my GoPro versus my iPhone, and like iPhone quality is not the best. But anyway, that's my personal opinion. But I crushed it. Like the next day, like I didn't feel sore when I first woke up, but as around 10ish, 11, because it was a later workout, I knew I would get sore later on. By midday, I'm like, okay, I feel it now. Okay. Like, I was thinking to myself, I was fucking right.
What do you feel the biggest difference was?
To me is because we're hitting the one muscle and we're concentrating that one muscle, like chest, how volume it was. I think that's what I need, because again, I have karate background. I have, I trained for so many years and all this different stuff. I think that's where the roadblock, my body is so used to train. I have to do it on a higher volume than anybody else. Or you disagree?
No, if you're feeling it better, then by all means.
Yeah.
So the chest workout, you definitely were sore. How about the back workout?
Yep.
Was that?
I felt it too. I'm like, when I stretch back a little bit, I was like, okay. I just gotta watch my form a little bit. My workout part was correcting me. Like when I'm going with a pull down, I was leaning a little bit too back, so I need to maybe drop the weight down a little bit. I was thinking about using hooks. What do you think about that?
Like hooks on the bar itself?
Yeah.
Personal recommendation: never.
Okay.
The reason is because what it will do, it's going to take away your natural grip strength.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not a proponent of ever using straps for that reason, straps or hooks, because over time you're training your grip strength, your forearms. That's going to really help out in the future, because I've seen guys that train with straps, and then the minute they take them off, they can't handle a heavier weight. So you don't want to get your body used to relying on the strap.
I don't even use gloves anymore. I got away from gloves a long time ago because I read an article. Excuse me. What was the article saying? That gloves take away from your workout. Believe it or not, because of the padding, you do want to build a callus. That callus helps you actually lift a little more. Yeah. So. Yeah. I have it from cooking, like you see, like from the years cooking, and my knuckles are worse, dude. If you see, like, you don't see them anymore because I lotion my hand, but how hard it is from fighting over the years, yeah, it's bad. But with all that said, I don't use any equipment. I might use a belt for the back later on when it gets really heavy.
Yeah, a belt is okay.
Yeah.
You want to avoid injury, because certain ways that you bend, or if you pick something up that's heavy, that can definitely hurt your back. Mm-hmm. So a belt is definitely important.
Yeah. I'm not using a belt at the moment. I need to get one actually, but I'm not worried about getting it right now. I think that's for later on. I think belt is more. It can't correct me if I'm wrong. More when you start doing deadlifts and like heavier moving like that way.
Yeah, for like big compound lifts, but I've also used a belt on like dumbbell rows and stuff like that.
Really?
Just because if you're leaning over a bench, even if it's a lighter weight, sometimes you may twist a certain way, and that may give you like a pull in your lower back. So the belt keeps everything tight, even if the weight is lighter.
Okay.
Like even if it's just one dumbbell instead of a big barbell.
So you want me to get one, or you want me to hold off still? Like I said.
If you feel you need one, it may be a good idea, just for added safety,
Hmm.
because I know there's been times I've thrown my back out just doing like dumbbell rows here and there. So a
Okay.
belt could definitely
I
help avoid
will
that.
look into it later on. Like I have to wait till I get paid again, but because I just bought. I came in the mail today. The weight vest we were talking about last time. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna start using that for cardio. On top of that, so Monday cardio went well. Did 20 minutes. Yes, I didn't. I ran out of time. Pretty much simple as that. I just ran out of time. It was like a long day at work. Today did not hit the gym to be straight up with you. I'm gonna make it up on Friday. I'm gonna
Ah.
push everything around a little bit to
Okay.
make it up. The reason was I had to make doctor appointments for my mom. Simple as that. I was running around all day with doctors. I literally got home about 2 hours ago. By the time I cooked, ate, and now I'm on the stream with you. So it was a go, go, go all day long. But I already scheduled that just in case that happened, I had tweaked my schedule around just in case I lost today to get into Friday, if that makes sense.
Okay. So no workout today, and then no workout tomorrow.
No, workout tomorrow and Friday.
Okay. And then weekend off, and then
Yes.
resume Monday.
Yes. That's how we
Okay.
get so there are 4 days in.
So I would maybe take the leg workout from today, and when you go to do it tomorrow, do that tomorrow, and then we'll put arms in, like arms shoulders for Friday.
Hmm.
And then by the time you return Monday, you'll be back to chest and back.
Yeah, that's the plan. I was thinking too because when I saw you do that because it was because you were already working arms Monday and Tuesday with back and chest, and I assume that's why you wanted me to
Yeah,
do legs to give them a rest day
yeah, just
and get back
yeah,
into it.
give the upper body a rest.
Yeah. So protein's been pretty high. 120, 130, 140 around there. I'm at right now with it.
Okay, that is fantastic.
Yeah.
How has that been to keep up with? Is that easy for you, or
Simple. Nothing have changed really. Been doing the same thing I've been doing. You have my eggs and one. Only thing I took out the oatmeal because oatmeal was a little bit too much with the carbs and
okay?
everything. So I backed off on that. But I'm still doing the two hard-boiled eggs with kabashi in the morning. Then I have my protein shake later on to the day on my meal. A couple times this week I had to kind of stack them together, my protein and my meal because of a schedule. We're a little short staffed today, but I still got everything in. That's what mattered. I felt. Then I had my protein shake. I mean my protein bar, then my protein shake, and I called it a day. And that's it. Really, nothing crazy. But it's been keeping up with it.
Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel that you're doing in regard to nutrition?
Decent. I would say probably like a 5 or 6.
If you could improve it, what would you tell yourself to do? Like looking at your overall day, is there anything you would change or fix or
Yeah.
swap?
Get a different job that you don't have to work with food. That's what it comes down to, it, bro. Is food because I work around food.
Yeah,
That's where it comes in with it. Is where I have to keep my calories lower than normal because I taste a lot of food. Like yesterday, I was
yeah.
making cheese sauce, so I have to taste the cheese sauce. Like I need a little more of this, a little more of that, and then it spikes everything out of control. And you were in the kitchen, so you know how that is.
Uh, Yeah. How many meals do you prepare when you're at work? How many do you have to cook? You have to cook a bunch of stuff, or just the main meal for that day?
Really depends on the day. So Monday I wasn't online, so it was not a lot of testing as much. So Tuesday I was in the back mostly, and I think I did what I did. I did turkey, pork, meatloaf, cheese sauce, and some other things. So 4 things I definitely had a taste. So if that makes sense.
Okay. And is it like a little taste, or do you get like a little bowl or a little plate, or like how do you go
Spoon,
about that?
small spoon, a plastic spoon.
Okay.
You ever seen those plastic spoons that you like at the
Yeah.
restaurants? That's the amount I taste usually.
Okay.
So, so that I don't know how would you want me to document that? I don't know how you want to put that down. That's the question.
So that's what I was going to bring up. So I think that we don't have to really worry about calories. Just I think what we can do is if you just snap pictures, you don't have to snap pictures of the stuff you're tasting, but just all the other stuff like your regular typical day,
Hmm.
just to get like a visual idea of like what things are looking like and what we're focusing on.
Yeah, I'm getting more conscious of what to stay away from and not to eat now because okay, like I had peas with beef tips the other day, for example, right? So I knew that was on a healthier side, so I didn't have to worry as much. It had the protein and everything we're looking for. Now, let's say I didn't have enough food. Let's say I was going to a burger. Okay, I'm gonna stay away from the burger and go to a wrap instead, for example, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm being more conscious what to eat and what not to eat.
Okay. If you do like a burger, do you do fries as well, or do you do just the burger, or like how do you think about that, or how do you go about that?
So I stay away from the burgers completely, to be honest with you, if I can.
Okay.
So I avoid it. Like if I will have something, I will have it like once a week, if that. And I'm not now. I'm really pushing it too. I prefer having like a Mountain Dew with a pretzel instead. I'm just using examples, of course, versus have a burger because that I can burn out a little easier. I feel versus the burger. Or am I wrong?
Um, in a way, possibly.
I'm trying to avoid all of it, if possible. That's what I'm trying. I'm just avoiding it as a plague. You know what I'm saying?
So, well, that's a good thing to bring up. On like a typical week, like let's say this past week, have you had Mountain Dew or anything like that?
Zero.
Zero.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
This is where I'm working with
That's
water
great.
and coffee. The
Fantastic.
worst one I had was a wake up mocha from Wawa because that has a little chocolate in it. That's the only thing I
Yeah.
had. The worst thing I had today was that.
Okay. Like a pre-made one that you order at the machine.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So it's not the greatest, but it's not the worst either. It's like 50-50, I think, isn't it? Or am I wrong?
It depends on what you're ordering, but some of that stuff, like the syrups and stuff, they can be like really loaded with sugar, like a lot. Sometimes like 30, 40 grams. All depends what you order.
Mm-hmm.
But that's definitely something to keep mindful of because that could add up really fast.
I'm actually going to look at it right now, how much it is, because I'm curious now.
Because that's like a typical thing that happens, like Starbucks, it all, even like retro, like their smoothies, like the base protein, the whey protein's okay, but once they put the flavored syrup in there, there's like 20, 30 grams of sugar in the flavored syrup. That makes all the difference.
Yeah, that I do know because of my cooking background. It's it can be a lot over time. Let's see what it is. It's not coming up for some reason. I don't know why. Because I know it's not the you don't order from the touchpad. It has a machine. You push the button. You know what I'm talking about.
Yep,
So
yep, yep.
yeah, it's weird. I don't see it. They usually have everything on the website. Up here's coffee. Come on. I know. Last time I checked, it was pretty low. It wasn't too high. The calories I remember one time. Oh, I can't. Let me check on my fitness pal because I can't find it on here.
Okay.
Because I'm
That
I'm
or
curious. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
yeah, so like it once in a while that's good because we need to have balance. But like
Mhm.
let's say if you are craving that, you could take like your coffee and then drop like a scoop of protein in there. That could be like a way to get something similar without like swapping it without like neglecting it.
I didn't think of that. That's actually a great idea. But how would it break down? That's my only question because I had a hard time breaking it down with the oatmeal, if you remember.
If you shake it up real good, especially if it's a hot coffee, yeah, it'll all that will dissolve. It should come out okay as long as you shake it really good. If you have a one of them like steel cups because it's like hot
I
liquid.
got something even better than that. I actually got one of the portable Ninja blenders now. I got two of them actually.
Oh,
So
okay.
I got like a cheap one from Amazon, and I liked it a lot. So, but it didn't. It didn't break down protein as well with the metal blade. Instead, they were like $60
Yeah.
on Target and $60 on Amazon. They're about the same price. It didn't matter what I ordered. So I ordered from Target, and ever since I bought those, I'm not going back to the blender balls. They're blender balls okay, but they're the greatest. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
I can't find that shit anywhere. God damn, I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Uh,
That and then
go ahead.
if you sorry, I
No,
was
no,
gonna
no,
say
go
if you
ahead.
feel over time if you feel over time like the protein itself doesn't break down correctly, looking at like a possible collagen, like vital proteins, like that type of formula, that will like 100% dissolve, no matter what you put it in. So it all really depends on the brand, like stabilizers, fillers, some of those things. Like you'll have different textures across brands.
The only
But
time I had an issue with protein was which one was it? I think it was a casein, I believe. Um,
yeah, yeah.
Pete actually put me on that a while back, and he wanted me to drink that at night, and I just gagged every time I drink casein. I don't know what's with casein. It means you don't get along.
It's a really heavy protein.
No
It's
shit.
slow digesting, but it's really heavy. It takes a while for the body to break it down.
Yeah, I just couldn't process it. And I followed the instructions, put 12 ounce of milk, water, whatever. And that's the other question I'm gonna ask you because the summertime's coming around. What is the plan with milk? Because I cannot bring milk with me in the summer. Is it gonna be go bad by the time I'm done my workout at night? We're just going with water,
Do you usually put milk into your protein shake?
almond milk.
Um, yeah, if you can do it with water, that's good. If you're doing so you could do with that, or you could take the almond milk like unsweetened in the Tetra Pak. If it's in the square container, that's shelf stable.
But after you crack it open, it's not stable anymore. That's the thing.
You take a cooler with you to work,
I'm gonna try, dude. You forget I'm there for 12, 15 hours sometimes. And like we have.
or
Go ahead.
take a container, leave it in the fridge at work. There,
Yeah,
like
I keep
there's
the milk in the fridge all day long, no matter what. So when I'm ready, I just grab it in my bag and I'm ready to go. So because I have some things I keep in the fridge, in our employee fridge, but 2 hours in the car after my workout is kind of pushing it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Water is probably your best bet. Like, so anytime I've done that, I just put like the protein, I'll put like the 2 scoops of protein in the bottom of the empty cup and I leave it like that. And then I'll just sort of either get something from the store or like just water from the water fountain or whatever, and then put that right in. So that way it's sort of as cold as possible.
Yeah. The cold part doesn't
That,
bother me. The room temperature doesn't bother me. I just want to. Again, milk can go bad, and the last thing I need is food poisoning, obviously. So that's why I'm bringing
yeah,
this
yeah.
up. So now, with if I use water, doesn't dilute the protein, or am I good?
Now it'll be better because you're eliminating a little extra, especially if you're used to almond milk. It's pretty thin to begin with, so
Hmm.
it's not going to affect the consistency that much.
Okay.
It'll be pretty similar.
Because I do have it time to time with water, like when I'm in a pinch and you bring in it, like here's water, gloop, go, and call it a
Yeah,
day. So that's why I don't mind it. Either one is fine. I thought it is better with almond milk because you don't. I thought you dilute it. That's why I use almond milk.
yeah, it's just personal preference. It'll make it a little more creamier, but if you can do it with water, water is definitely the way to go because that's what I do. It's just easier to digest that way. One, two, three.
I didn't know that because I use skim milk to be honest with you because it's right there. And again, I thought it was better. It actually you get more protein like that. I thought.
Possibly, but it may be better just water.
Okay, I know for future reference then. So all right, that sounds like a plan then. Okay, didn't
And
know
it,
that.
yeah, and that's really the key. Is just it's and that's why we're gonna like dive a little deeper and start just seeing like as you're going through your day, quick picture here, quick picture there, just to see the overall like typical days,
Hmm.
day in, day out, and then like little tweaks like that can start to add up to make a huge difference. Because it still is a mathematical equation. We still have to burn more than we're consuming. So if you are, so that's the thing. Let's say you have your base day, your meal plan, what you're going with, but then when you're at work, you have cheese sauce, you have this, that, so all that's going to add up. But that's okay because it's not like you're going to not do that. So if we do know that's going to happen, and we do okay, there's a little bit of milk that comes into the protein shake. Maybe we could nix that, and now when you go to taste the cheese sauce, you see what I'm saying? It
Yeah,
all will
yeah, yeah,
balance
yeah,
itself
yeah,
out.
yeah. I see it now. Even it almond has no fat, but you still putting the calories in. You have to be a
Yeah.
calorie defect to lose weight, and that could hurt my progress in the long run. So it might be a good idea even now. Start backing off on the almond milk and just start doing just water.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Leaner, especially as summer is approaching, leaner is going to be better. Because I also, so like I was taking a look at the pictures you sent over to me. And it's no judgment at all. but it's you're holding a little more in the midsection.
Yep, that's where I hold
And
it.
so that, yeah, so when you hold it that way, that definitely comes down to, we have to always watch for added sugars, because when the like blood sugar is going up and that's sometimes insulin's connected to that. So if blood sugar is going up and down, the body, especially as guys, will hold a little more around their stomach. It's usually comes down to that and stress. Those are definitely the top two things that are gonna hold there. So I know those are two things we definitely have to work on.
Good luck on the stress
It's
part.
hard to,
The stress part, I
yeah,
can't help.
hard.
I can't. I'm always stressed out 24/7. Between paying the bills, work is beyond fucking stress in my line of work, and see my mom all the time. And I'm like, when I'm not stressed, the better question is.
Yeah. Well, do you feel like when you do your show and stuff like that, do you feel that's like a stress relief for you? Like
Oh
what do
god,
you
yeah.
consider a stress relief besides the gym?
Gaming, and I haven't gaming in 2 months.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm like, I've been bitching about it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been really bitching about it. Like, I need to get back into gaming. And it really stresses, depresses me because I just don't have time right now. Like, with everything going on between making sure I go to the gym, make sure my meals get prepped, make sure my mom's good, make sure the doctor's appointments are good. Work, it's like 12, 15 hours daily for about 6 days straight.
Yeah.
I don't have time sometimes, and I need to make time. I know that. I know you're gonna say you gotta have to make time, and I know that. And just making time is the hard part.
That it could be anything that we like do throughout the day. So it could be like a quick 5 minute breathing exercise you do in the car.
Mhm.
Any little things like that. It sounds stupid, like, oh, what difference is that going to
It
make?
makes a huge
But over
difference.
a long period, over a period of time, it can definitely start to help, because stress is definitely the number one thing that affects all of us.
Yeah.
And so if we could try to, we're never going to be able to get rid of it, but if we could have like little tricks to balance it,
Mhm.
over time, that's definitely going to help things out.
Well, I do will say one thing. I know I hate to use this as much. I'm not there anymore. When I smoked, it was less stressful because the cigarette was a big decompressor. That's why, like myself, didn't want to quit smoking because it is a self, what's the word I'm for? A stress reliever. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. So that's why I said I'm gonna quit. I'm gonna quit. I never did because I always wanted to smoke. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So now that I'm not smoking, that's eliminated. That's stress reliever. You know what I'm saying?
That sometimes a little bit of stretching, like if you do like a couple of minutes of stretching before you go to sleep at night, that can start to
Mhm.
help. Little things like that can definitely, like, I know smoking definitely works, but it's not
I'm not
not
going back to it.
conducive to what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But one thing I will say also with my midsection, both of my parents are diabetic, so I'm trying to watch now because I cut a lot of sugar out already. Because I used to put all these different creamers in my coffee, almond milk. I know almond milk, the creamer vanilla, and then to put another 4 or 5 pack of sugar. I wanted my coffee as sweet as possible. I don't even get coffee from Dunkin' Donuts anymore. I hate that coffee now. It's
Yeah.
even if you did put like they say what kind of sweetener you want. I don't want none. And when you say none, it's too sweet for me. That's why I go with unsweetened almond milk because it's literally excuse me, no sweet. I can't do sweets anymore like that. I stay away from it as most as possible because I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, and it's so the thing with that is it's not just calories are definitely the number one,
Hmm.
but it's not just that. That the next step to that is like, so let's say we have, maybe it's only 50 calories or so that we have inside of a drink, and that's in the form of sugar. Let's say that comes in, even though it's only 50 calories, what will also happen is that little bit of sugar will spike insulin. And once the blood sugar goes over about 100, 110, anything that you're anything at that point now is getting stored away as fat. It doesn't matter. It could be the healthiest grass-fed steak on planet Earth. Once insulin is elevated, it's going to be stored away as fat. So that's why if we keep watching for added sugars or overall sugar, that's going to always help to keep sort of insulin down. That way the sugar will be sort of burned and used up.
Yeah, because I just looked it up right now. A regular 8 ounce Mountain Dew is 170 calories with 46 grams of sugar. That's a lot of fucking goddamn sugar. And that's why I stay away from, as much I love it, I stay away from as much as possible. This is why I'll go with water. And sometimes if I need something a little more, spike it up a little bit, I might add a little lemon to it. So, and that's the other
Yeah,
question I was going to ask you. Does lemon water actually help with burning calories? Was it fat? I heard somewhere.
yeah, it'll stimulate digestion, and it actually stimulates fat burning. Like
Hmm.
it really helps with that.
So now here's the other question. Is it better with lemon juice or actual lemon? That is the question I have.
Actual lemon, 100%.
Okay, so if I don't have lemon, can I use lemon juice instead, or it won't make that won't that's a bad idea.
You can the way it's the bitterness of the lemon is sort it that's
Mm.
what's kicking everything on. Like when you get that like that puckering taste,
Yeah.
that reaction, that's what's stimulating the fat burning.
Okay. So not a bad idea to add that to in my regimen every day. So it helped out a little bit.
Yeah, that could help. Like first thing in the morning, you could do like a half a lemon or a quarter lemon squeezed in a little bit of water. That could be an easy way to bring it in.
You don't know me that well in the morning. You take my coffee away, I will kill you. Literally.
Well, what? Well, not replace. You still have the coffee,
Yeah.
but do you like when you get up? Do you have water first, or do you have coffee right away?
I'm trying to break the habit, but my habit right now is coffee immediately. That's the first thing I go to. But I'm starting to now to drink a little water in the morning, maybe like a quick sip or something, because I read it actually stimulates your metabolism. It actually helps starts burning faster if you introduce the
Yeah,
water first versus anything else.
yeah. So your body's dehydrated from the night sleeping, and then if you get up in the morning, like coffee, caffeine is still dehydrating.
Yeah.
So if you have something that's still dehydrating, you're now back a little. So an easy way to swap it around is like you make whatever rule you can, but whether it's like here, whether it's half a butt, whatever it is, have that first before you have any coffee. That little trick will make a huge difference because you'll literally start to like it wakes up the body again because you want to
Mm-hmm.
definitely rehydrate.
Because here's the question behind that that is always throwing me off. Maybe you explain that to me. In the morning, what I have, let's say I have one bottle of water, for argument's sakes, or even this
Yeah.
much of water out of it. I feel bloated after I drink water first thing in the morning.
You could try warm water
It is
and see
warm.
if that makes a
Room
difference.
temps. That's what I've been drinking.
Hmm. Are you like guzzling it or are you sipping it?
Just same way I'm drinking now. Just quick sip.
The lemon may help that.
Okay.
Like literally it will stimulate digestion. Another like key is to like you could use like when you go to the bathroom you could use the color to determine how hydrated the body is. So basically it should not be completely clear. It should be clear with a very light tint of yellow. If it actually looks yellow or like darker orange or anything like that, definitely dehydrated. So urine should not even look yellow. It should get like mostly clear with a slight tint of yellow.
Yeah.
And that's how you'll always know, like throughout the day, do you need more water or not?
Yeah. I know after I take my supplements, because I take them during lunchtime usually,
Yeah,
whatever my body doesn't need, it rejects it, urine, obviously, and it gets more
yeah,
a neon color, my urine through the day.
yeah,
And that's normal, obviously. I know that's from the, injects whatever I don't need from from the supplements. So, okay. All right. That's something to add another thing to the list. So I'll probably make that overnight, have it ready, and just go like that.
yeah. Little tweaks like that can definitely start to make a huge difference
Hmm.
because that's the thing. If we're waking up metabolism, digestion that way, and sort of easing into things, anything that you're eating throughout that day, it's gonna burn more efficiently.
Okay. I'll try it. What can I lose? So now you seen your pictures where I carried away. Is what we're doing is going to work, you think, or do we have to change something around again?
Yeah, so between looking at sugar, well, we're just going to start to track like what you're doing, nutrition wise, just to get an idea of what's coming in. But like, let's say we do get to a plateau, definitely, possibly a little more fasting or like little whatever strategy we come up with, to definitely like target that because the body's holding on to that for there's a reason the body wants to hold on to that.
Yeah. I call it survival mode usually because they usually want to hold that for some
Yeah,
reason.
yeah,
So,
it
and that's where I always had my area problems. and I worked with a lot of trainers in the past. I told you this, and I think I told you off camera before, and it's nobody could get rid of that area. That's where I feel, my confidence is right there. I'm like, if I got rid of that, I'd be okay.
Yeah, it really has to do with insulin, and that's it's not like fasting to reduce calories. It's more so fasting to balance insulin levels. Um, Without getting too scientific, that's sort of why the period of fasting starts to help quite a bit, because it makes us more sensitive to insulin. So I have like a video that explains this a little, but basically your cell, let's say sugar comes in. If it's only a little bit, insulin is a key. It'll open the cell and the sugar goes in and it gets burned when you work out and you're moving around. But let's say you have a little too much sugar. Insulin, now too much insulin is made and now it's clouded. And so now the key doesn't fit into the lock. And now the sugar is still in the bloodstream. So it's not in the cell. It cannot be burned. And so it can't stay in the bloodstream because you'll die. What will then happen is the body has to transport it and turn it into fat, or otherwise you would die from high blood sugar. Like you would go into a diabetic coma. So your body has to do that in order to re-regulate itself. And that's like the number one leading issue of why people hold extra fat, is because the sugar's not getting utilized correctly.
Okay.
And so without like being too scientific, things like fasting and watching added sugars, all of those things will start to help balance that out.
Okay, that's something different to know. Okay. So we have to adjust a couple things, in other words.
Yeah, so we're just basically this, as we're going into this week, we're just going to, as you go through your day, if you can, just quick picture, hey, like I'm about to eat eggs, boom, this is what it is, boom. No judgment, no anything.
Oh,
We
I don't
just
care about
want to
that.
visually see. Yeah, we just want to visually see, just to keep like a data track record to then see, okay, we this is what this week's looking like. Can we make a swap? Can we make a little change? Because just like the thing with like skim milk, coming in through the shit like that alone may be an extra 100 calories or so. You see
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So it's little things like that we can look for.
Yeah, I tell you exactly what it is right now, actually, because I have it right here from the other day. The skim milk, where is it? It's 80 calories right there.
Yep.
But I think most of the calories, the extra calories I'm coming in with, it's from my almond milk, because for one serving, it comes down to, where are you? I just lost it. There's 30 calories on the app. So it's not a lot, but it still adds up. 30 plus 30 plus another 85, that's 100 and something calories a day that I'm adding on for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now I'm thinking about it. The banana I'm putting in the protein shake. Sure, I'm going to eliminate that, I think, because that's sugar on top of that.
Yep. Anything we could do to even if it's a little thing like that, any of those subtractions is going to equal to a subtraction here.
Mm-hmm. I was actually thinking about using spinach instead for my protein shake. Or I read somewhere spinach helps burn fat too.
If you blend it up and you like the taste of that, by all means, you don't have to do that, but you could see how it goes.
You think that's the extra calories I don't need, or should I just stick with just water and protein for right now? What do you think?
Yeah, water and protein is probably going to be easiest, because spinach is going to add a weird texture in there, and it's not completely going to mix. Like it'll chop it up quite a bit, but there's still going to be like little green pieces throughout. Because I used to do that, was a mistake I made, is I used to do that with like kale and stuff like I thought like, hey, if I just have the protein shake, that's good, but now let me add kale to it, or let me do this, and then it would make the thing taste like shit, and it wasn't really adding a benefit.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
So it'll make the protein taste worse without too much benefit.
So it takes a while. You better just not use it in general.
Yeah. Like personally, I keep a lot of that stuff real simple, like just protein, water. Even when it comes down to, like, I don't even do tons and tons of vegetables myself, just because it's easier on digestion. It's more efficient. It's simpler. and we don't need as much of the other stuff as we think we do.
Okay. So just keep it basic as possible.
Yep.
Okay. So I think that's one of my other issues. I overcomplicate things. I overthink things.
Oh, yeah. That can definitely be an issue. I'm guilty of that myself.
Oh,
I'm a constant thinker.
I'm always guilty of that. I always think everything. So, okay. I definitely need to work on that. So, okay. So, I'll eliminate the skim milk like we said. I'll just go with milk. And water, excuse me. Just water for now. And I'll eliminate the banana out of the protein and just keep it like that.
Yeah, and little tweaks like that, and then we just see,
Yeah.
is that helping out? How's the mirror looking? How are you feeling? How's the scale going? And just we're using that as data points to see, is this stuff helping? Is it moving us in the right direction? Because it seems like sort of week by week, it has been going down in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely, well, that's how I was going to say it. So basically, like base looking off those pictures, definitely we want to keep that scale going down a little bit further. Like we want to get the body leaner before we're worried about building that much more muscle. So like our main focus is definitely to try to get that down. So the scale, because I know when we had spoke, it's like, like as you build muscle and burn fat, like the weight number is not as important to you. It's sort of going to balance itself out.
It's more what I see in the mirror. That's what is more important to me. I want to be finally happy. I can take my shirt off. Like, okay, I'm happy. Or wear a little, like a Under Armour shirt or a beater or something, and I'm happy. I'm not like, I'm happy here. And I'm going, and it like Santa got, and literally I was walking down, was past December, I think, was it? And I still had my long beard and my hair and everything, right? And literally someone looked at me and goes, Corey come up to me like, you look like you're Santa Claus. I'm like, excuse me? Yeah. And that's kind of a slap in the fucking face. I'm like, okay, and I'm like, I know I'm fat, but not that fucking fat.
Is that like someone you knew or like a stranger?
No, somebody randomly in the mall came up to me and called me Santa Claus. Yeah.
Was she young or older or?
She was probably around our age, but I'm like, damn.
Oh, wow.
That's kind of rude, first of all. Like, where'd you learn your manners?
That's a little messed up.
Yeah. And so I've always had issues with my mid area. I know it runs in my family. My father has the same problem. Both of my uncles on my mom's side, my mom had the same issue. All my cousins have the same issue. So nobody really gave a shit. They're like, this is how we are, how we are. I'm the only one in my whole family that says, I'm going to do something about it. And I'm not going to stop till he kills me. Hopefully not, but you get the idea. So that's why.
Yeah, and
go ahead.
And so that's important to know too. Like genetics do definitely play a factor.
Yeah.
But also, it's called epigenetics. So basically, even though the genetics are there, as you make changes in your lifestyle over time, you could sort of flip the switches on and off with some things. Mm-hmm. It's not like it will just solve like if diabetes runs in the family, it doesn't just magically disappear. But chances of you dealing with any of those issues really are minimized by doing what you're doing now.
Yeah, that's why I'm working out, and like this is why I got the vest. Like, okay, if I'm burning, let's say 100 calories just doing regular walking because I can't run too much because I'm burned out, let's throw a vest on there. Well, burn another 80 calories or whatever. I don't know. I'm just throwing numbers out there. You know more of that science than I do, but we're taking steps now. So yes, I probably am going to be diabetic towards some point in my life. But let's push it as far back.
Don't say that.
But maybe it skipped me because I'm taking the right steps. There's so many different steps I can take. So you see where I'm going with this?
Absolutely. Yep.
And this is why I'm taking the steps I'm taking now, so I can prevent the fat loss. Make the fat loss. I know that's even as a little kid, when I was in martial arts, when I was competing in tournaments, I still had that little gut. And it was just like everybody was saying, "You're gonna grow out of it. You're gonna grow out of it." I didn't grow out of it. It's still there. I want to finally see my abs.
Well, that's so we're gonna focus as we're focusing. But if we have to get to a point where we start to shift things a little bit, fasting is I'm a huge proponent of it because it definitely works.
Okay, let me ask you a question on that now. I'm sorry to cut you off, but how are we gonna do fasting with my line of work? That's where I'm still trying to process that.
You're still going to be at work where it's just going to be the overall time.
Mm-hmm.
So If the fast is 12 hours or 14 hours, it's just tracking the overall time. And there's an amazing app called Zero that is literally a fasting timer. Like the minute you eat your last meal, you click it, and then it will literally tell you what like if you have a 14-hour fast, it will tell you to the second when you should start eating your first meal.
So my
But that
question
one
is
trick,
with that is, let's say, okay, let's say the time I'm supposed to eat, I cannot. I'm working at that point. So is as I'm in the kitchen, I'm not always available to be able to stop and eat. How would we go work around that part?
so we try to either get the last meal pushed up,
Okay.
but you're working out after work, right?
Yeah.
So then we try to push the first meal further in, because you don't want to work out and then not have anything after the
Yeah,
workout.
you lose
That
progress.
would not be that would not be good. But if we push the beginning of the day, even if you pack something with you, like instead of having it right away at home, you push it back, like ideally like 2, 3 hours, 4 hours from after you're waking up. Little tricks like that can definitely make a huge difference, like drastic difference.
Because it depends if I'm on the line or not. If I'm on the line, I won't be able to eat till at least 1, 2 o'clock at that point. So if I have my last meal, let's say between 10-ish, let's say for argument's sakes, I won't be eat till like 1 o'clock the next day. The earliest.
Okay.
So is that too much a bigger window, you think, or is that be perfect?
That would be perfect, because the more you're able to do of that, it's not only calories, it affects our actual metabolism, because the more period of time we have no food coming in, the body has to start learning how to burn fat.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a while to start shifting the metabolism, but as that's basically we're training the nutrition muscle that way, and then over time you'll start to notice like drastic differences.
Yeah.
So like once a week I'll throw in, like I did that 2 days ago, I threw in like 26 hours, and it's not like basically I went from dinner the one day to then nothing until dinner the next day, and dramatic
So
difference.
let's experiment this a little bit, because now you got me thinking a little bit, and that's a good thing and a bad thing. So the weekend is a perfect time for me to play with this a little bit. So let me play with this on the weekend, because I stop at a certain time. Like weekends I stop eating around 6 or 7. So it gives me enough time to play with this a little bit to see how that will work. So why not, right? Because if I crack, at least crack on a weekend, I can, figure out, okay, I can text you, okay, this is where I messed up, this is where I crack, and so on.
Yeah, and then so let's say you stop at 6, you bring it to 6 a.m. the next day, is automatically 12 hours. And then if you don't eat till about 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the morning, that right there is like 16-hour fast. Like you're good to go. So basically it's like a game. Anytime you could do it, where you try to bring it in. It doesn't have to happen every day, but I definitely have found it's the easiest strategy over time, because you don't have to worry about counting calories as much, because you're automatically putting yourself in a deficit. But then the more you practice fasting, it physically becomes easier, because the physical cravings are not even there. Like you get to a point where there's literally like there's no hunger in the morning, like at all, ever.
Yeah, I never had those issues.
And
in the morning, I'm never hungry. I don't eat sometimes because I'm hungry. I eat to survive, if that makes sense.
yeah,
Yeah, and I'm also a big believer, like, you don't need to eat. You have to eat healthy, but you can make it taste good still. That's what I was looking for, and it's possible. I done it. Trust me, I know. That's why I'm a big believer on that. So that's something I focus on. So it's something I've been going back and forth with. So yeah, I think it's possible.
yep, 100%.
Yeah, I want to play with this a little bit. I want to play with it a little bit.
Yeah, basically, visually is, if we just condense, it sounds crazy, but if we condense most of our food around the time that we're either working or at the gym working out, it's going to have tremendous impact. And then the time away from that, like almost no food coming in at all. Because it's also it's like in our DNA too. Like it's like hunter gatherer ancestors.
Yeah.
Like the guys didn't like sit down to a breakfast and say, okay, now we're getting ready to go find the deer. They were
They
like, no,
starve
we got to go
themselves
get
most
the
of the day.
deer. Oh, yeah, yeah. And then they're like, oh shit, we missed the deer with the arrow. We have no food today. We're not going to be maybe eating till tomorrow. And so women are different because their hormone system is different. So it's not recommended for women to intermittent fast.
Yeah.
However, as men, our bodies are completely geared towards it for thousands of years.
No, I definitely get it. It's different progress, different everything, and that's one thing I'm working on myself. And it's a new style. You know what I'm saying? It just what
Yeah.
I gotta figure out how this is gonna break down with work and everything. I'm just why I'm playing with it a little bit right now. Like it's the time zone. That's what. And the only thing other concern, like, am I gonna be able to eat enough in that window to get all the calories in? That's the question I have right now for myself.
Definitely.
You think so?
100, definitely.
With my
Definitely.
work wise, you're saying that right?
It's a it's a weird thing. It's like very unscientific. Like I have formal training in this, and I was trained a completely different way in fitness nutrition, but through personal experience, there's days where if I literally mapped out what I had and I'm still working out, it would look insane. Like sometimes it's
Really?
literally 2 scoops of protein before a workout, and then a little bit of white rice and a scoop of protein, and then maybe 2 cans of sardines after, and that's it for the entire day. And I'm still able to build muscle, still able to get stronger. So your hormone system is more important than the calorie system, 100%. The thing with fasting is as your body gets used to that, your natural testosterone and your growth hormone gets spiked. So it's a way to naturally juice with your own hormones because so once food comes in, the hormones lower because digestion
Mm-hmm.
kicks in. But when there's no food coming in as guys, our testosterone and our growth hormone are at its peak. And so the more days we're able to do that, the more often we have a peak of testosterone and HGH.
Okay, I see what you're saying now, and it takes. Will that also help with your performance? You know, in other areas too, because you know if I'm talking.
Everything, energy, stamina, libido, muscle size, the way we burn fat, just over time, because every time you're doing it, you're getting like a shot in a way, not exactly, but that's sort of what's happening because the other part of the equation is insulin only comes up when food comes into the body.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's no food coming in, insulin will never rise, and so the less insulin rises, the more sensitive we become to it. So that way we get to a point where you could have quite a bit of carbs around the time of a workout, and it's not going to get stored as fat. It's going to be used right away.
So,
But
in
if
other words, it's like rebooting my metabolism almost.
100%, that's exactly what it is.
So, is it the same way that what was that vitamin? Not vitamin. There's something else second. CLA. Is the same way CLA works, or is it a little different?
Different but similar type of idea of your basically you're literally creating a hybrid metabolism. So you have your body that is used to burning when there's like, oh, we need food to keep fueling. Yes, we do, but the other metabolism is we can be fueled without any food.
Mm-hmm.
And so the more we can train for that, it's like a hybrid switch. So the minute no food comes in, it's not like we're starving all day, like there's literally no hunger and the body's in fat burning mode. And then once we do turn it on and we do eat, the body's able to burn through that food a lot faster and use it a lot better.
Okay, I see what you're saying now. So it's pretty much a reboot every single day. You do this, boom, 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 and it burns, burns, burns. You know, the mentality I learned always from everybody I know. Even the bodybuilders I met this weekend over, I showed you the pictures. I was speaking to them, and they told me 6 meals a day, 6 meals. And I was picking the brain to see what their theory was. Like they all said, if you want to burn fat, 6 meals a day, 6 meals a day. That's what everybody says, 6 meals a day. But small meals.
But they're also a lot of them are using stuff, and even if they're not, most of them are using TRT. And so they have exogenous hormones coming in. So they're manipulating their body through actual extra hormones coming in. Some of them use insulin. Some of them use different things to manipulate the way the body looks. If we're doing it naturally, it's too much on the body. And that a lot of those guys, like you'll see, even though they look like that, they don't look like that all year long.
No.
Most of those guys look fat all year long until the time they're ready for a show. And it's because they're relying on hormones outside the body instead of the metabolism inside the body.
Yeah, it's very few that they're like that. They're
Yep.
show ready all year round, but it's not like they're shock all year. Jay Cutler, like if you show the picture I first took him years ago when I first time I met him a couple years back,
Yeah.
versus now, he looks scrawny as hell right now because he's still buff muscle. He's a big guy still, but versus prefer show ready and now ready, two different things.
Yeah.
And it's because he's probably not on as much stuff. He's probably on he uses something, but not as much. So okay, I think we got a game plan. So I'm gonna try fasting this week. I'm gonna try protein with no additives, meaning milk and stuff like that, and no fruit. So sounds like a plan.
Yeah. So the app is called Zero.
Okay.
If you want to write that down quick, like a Zero.
Okay.
And all that's used for, that's not like tracking meals or anything. All that's used for is just a fasting timer.
I'm actually gonna look
Because
it up right now.
that way you don't. Yeah, that way you don't have to think. Like you don't have to. Oh, well, I stopped eating now.
This one right here,
and then
the first one.
Yep.
All
Yep.
right, I'm downloading it right now. So we're gonna try this sucker out.
The longer you can get away with, the better. So it minimum 12 hours. If you could do a 16, amazing. 16 is definitely what the target is. That's what we want to aim for.
You don't know that.
Once you get to about
Nick, you know me long enough. You know when you say I do 12 by 16 is better. I'm going for 16. If you tell me to do 20 hours, I'm going to do fucking 20 hours.
Yeah, because the body really doesn't go into fat burning mode until about hour 16. And so anything after that is all a bonus.
Mm-hmm.
That's like most days are 16 for me, but that's why like every probably one time a week, I'll do like 20, sometimes 24, sometimes 18. It all depends whenever hunger comes up and I have to break it.
Yeah. Okay. I would definitely try it. Hunger doesn't really bother me that much, to be honest with you, like most people, because I've been around food so long. Like it's something else. I'm immune to it. So, okay. So let's do that, and we meet up again next week. Okay?
100%.
All right, before we go, I want to get off this. We're going to talk to you. Like you guys see, I am very, very doubtful of this. But I'm going to try it. I'm willing to try anything to hit my goal. Just to lose this, I'll do anything. To get to my goal, I'll do it. You know, people say I'll do anything to get to my goal. But are they really? I am willing to do most things, but not everything. I'm not going to start doing steroids or any type of illegal drugs. Fuck that. But if you tell me to do cardio, to work out, to go to the gym, yeah, I'm willing to do that. Do it fast, I'm going to do that. I'll give it a shot. I'll give it 2 days and see how I feel. If I feel great, then I'll do 3 days, 4 days, and next time, let's see what Nick says. I'm curious. This should be very interesting. I'm always a little nervous too. How is my body going to react? I never done this long. I've done 10 hours, maybe 12, 16 hours. Never have done that. So this is a challenge. I'm against myself, and 24 hours. I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to do that right now, but eventually I will. A good detox for the body. So accept that. I think we're going in the right direction. So accept that, guys. Tune to next week. I'm curious, and always, as the muscle pumps. Not there yet, but the muscle pumps up. Please do me a favor. For me and Nick, hit the like, share, and subscribe. Except that, as always, even with his best up hair, stay fresh.